A man wearing a makeshift hero costume stands on top of a skyscraper. People gather at the base of the building to see him, applauding when he jumps down. However, the man isn't a hero and quickly falls on top of a car. A voiceover reveals that the man has a mental illness. In Staten Island, New York, teenager Dave Lizewski lives an everyday life, hanging out with his best friends, going to school, having a crush on Katie Doma, and eating breakfast with his parents each morning. His life has slid into a monotonous routine that he desperately wants to break. Dave dreams of being a superhero, but his friends claim he must have superpowers or be rich. His mother died of an aneurysm, so Dave lacks the vengeful spirit that fuels most superheroes. Dave tries to befriend mafia boss Frank D'Amico's wealthy son Chris unsuccessfully. One day, he and his friends are robbed by two guys. The incident prompts Dave into action and he purchases a scuba diving suit. He modifies it to his liking and spends the next few weeks training in martial arts with some batons. Soon, Dave encounters the two guys who had robbed him breaking into a car. Dave hides from them but reappears before them in his suit. The thieves laugh at him and easily overpower him when he tries to attack them with a baton. One of the thieves stabs Dave and flees. Dave staggers onto the road where an oncoming car hits him and flees the scene. Fortunately, paramedics arrive at the location and conduct first aid on Dave. He requests them to hide his suit as he fears people shaming him. Consequently, Dave gets to the hospital naked. Sometime later, Dave recovers from his wounds but learns that he has sustained extensive damage to his body. The modifications to his bones and nerves enable him to inflict and endure pain. Back at school, Dave is pleasantly surprised when Katie offers to buy him a coffee. He shares his excitement with his friends only to learn that there's a rumor that he is gay, as the police report claimed he was naked and in a curious neighborhood. Dave is devastated by the news but decides to take this as an opportunity to get close to Katie. He continues exercising at home, intending to resume his superhero stunts. While canvassing the neighborhood, he sees a poster for a missing cat. He soon locates the cat trapped on top of a restaurant. He climbs the restaurant hoping to get the cat but falls. Incidentally, a man running from gang members trips over him and falls, causing the gang to catch up with him. Dave sees the gang beating up the man and rushes to intervene, asking a passerby to call 911. The passerby instead calls the people inside the restaurant to witness everything. Dave puts up a good fight despite being outnumbered 3-1. Luckily, the gang members see the people recording the incident and flee. Dave helps the victim and reveals his name as Kickass to the applauding crowd. The video gains notoriety as everyone wonders who the new superhero is. Dave creates a MySpace account where he can be contacted for help. Soon, Kickass becomes popular, and among those who see him are Frank and Chris. Chris thinks a superhero is great, but Frank feels a superhero will interfere with his business. Similarly, Damon McCready tells his daughter Mindy that Kickass is an amateur who will get his ass kicked. Dave continues hanging out with Katie and she reveals that a drug dealer, Razul, has been harassing her. Dave asks her to contact Kickass for help. Dave quickly finds Razul's house and warns him to stay away from Katie. However, the intimidation doesn't work as Razul starts beating him up. Razul is about to eliminate Dave when another superhero, Hit Girl, intervenes and mercilessly slaughters Razul and his men. One guy is about to stab Hit Girl, but her partner, Big Daddy, shoots him dead. Hit Girl steals all the gang's money and flees, leaving Dave behind as he is scared to jump over buildings. At home, Dave cries himself to sleep, deciding to quit being a superhero as he's not cut out for it. Meanwhile, Frank learns that someone has raided his business and stolen some of his merchandise. The camera footage caught someone in a costume, so he assumes it to be Kickass and orders a hit on him. Later that night, Big Daddy and Hit Girl break into Dave's room, having located him via IP address on his account. The two encourage him to continue fighting as he has potential and advise him to leave an on-vacation post on his account when he needs their help. One police officer, Marcus Williams, visits Damon's home where he finds an arsenal of weapons including a bazooka. The two were partners, but Frank framed Damon and caused him to be incarcerated for 5 years. His wife committed suicide during this period, leaving Mindy under Marcus's care. When Damon got out, he reunited with Mindy and trained her to take down Frank. Marcus knows all about the raids on Frank's businesses and wants Damon to let Mindy have a normal childhood. Meanwhile, Frank comes across a Kickass in the street. He follows him to an alley and brutally beats him up. He shoots a passerby and Kickass, not realizing he's a party entertainer wearing a Kickass costume. Chris overhears Frank rambling about the party entertainer to his partner Joe. He comes up with a plan to trap Kickass. He frames one of Frank's men and gains notoriety for catching him using his superhero codename Red Mist. Red Mist reaches out to Kickass asking to meet. Dave is excited to have a partner in his crime-fighting business, so he eagerly meets up with Red Mist. Dave is a little jealous of how rich Red Mist is compared to him, but he agrees to join forces after Red Mist claims Kickass was his motivation and wants to become his sidekick. Red Mist and Kickass drive around the city, with Chris telling Frank he will be at the warehouse soon. Unfortunately, the two find the warehouse burning. Frank is livid, but Chris shows him footage from a teddy bear he had left in the warehouse, revealing that Big Daddy and Hit Girl had ransacked the warehouse, killing all of Frank's men and set the building on fire. Marcus warns Damon that Frank knows he is the one going after his business and wants him to lay low. However, Damon thinks that it's time to end his business with Frank once and for all. Meanwhile, Dave confesses to Katie that he is Kickass and that he is not gay. Katie is surprised but forgives him for lying, and the two get intimate. Over the next few days, Dave has the time of his life going on dates with Katie. However, he gets home and finds many messages from Red Mist asking for his help. Kickass decides to help Red Mist one last time. Red Mist is frantic as he confesses that the two are being blamed for the warehouse massacre. He asks Kickass to contact Big Daddy and Hit Girl for help. The two find the distress signal and ask Kickass to meet at a secret hideout. Red Mist and Kickass drive there, not realizing someone is following them. Big Daddy isn't happy to see Red Mist when they get to the hideout, but he lets him in. To everyone's surprise, Red Mist shoots Hit Girl, and she falls off the window just as several men enter the room and capture both Kickass and Big Daddy. At Frank's house, Chris is disappointed as his father had promised to leave Kickass alone. Frank explains that by eliminating Kickass, he sends a message to all wannabe superheroes to dissuade them from coming after him. Soon, a live feed is broadcast on all networks, and people wait to see the faces behind Kickass and Big Daddy. However, anticipation turns to dread when people realize that the two heroes have been captured and are being abused. Frank's men beat up the two heroes and douse them with petrol, intending to burn them before everyone in the world. Suddenly, the lights cut out and the screen goes dark. Hit Girl, who was wearing a bulletproof jacket earlier, enters and starts eliminating Frank's men one by one. One thug sets Big Daddy on fire, but Hit Girl cannot save him as she is busy fending off the other thugs. Big Daddy instructs her on the location of the thugs and she succeeds in eliminating them all. However, it's too late by the time she gets to Damon. Father and daughter share one last moment before the former succumbs to his injuries. Hit Girl frees Kickass and the two escape. Hit Girl reveals her face to Dave and says she wants to avenge her father. Since this whole thing started because of him, Dave decides to help. Frank has barricaded himself at home with several men watching as he knows that Hit Girl and Kickass will come for vengeance. At the lobby, the guard is distracted when Mindy enters looking for her parents. The bodyguards let their guard down, seeing that Mindy is a young schoolgirl, but she easily ambushes them and kills them. She enters Frank's house and starts taking care of the thugs. When she runs out of bullets, she uses knives, and her skills are fast and efficient. Unfortunately, one of the thugs retrieves a bazooka he had taken from Damon's possessions. The thugs corner Hit Girl, but Dave comes through with a jetpack and machine gun, killing all of the men. He and Red Mist fight and accidentally knock each other out. Meanwhile, Frank overpowers Hit Girl, but before he can eliminate her, Dave appears with the bazooka. He launches a round at Frank, throwing him out of the building, and watches as he explodes. He and Hit Girl escape just before Red Mist finds them. In the aftermath, Kickass quits his superhero shenanigans and focuses on his relationship with Katie while Mindy starts attending school. Elsewhere, Red Mist swears vengeance on his father's murderers. Do leave a comment telling us your favorite part of the movie. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next recap. Until next time, folks, take care and goodbye.